Next question. The member for Lanark, Frontenac, Kingston.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, to the Minister of Energy. During the 2018 election campaign, the Progressive Conservatives and I campaigned on a promise to reduce electricity by 12%. In November, the Ontario Energy Board approved a time-of-use increase for Hydro One. This increase conflicts and contradicts with the mandate given to this government by the people of Ontario. Once again, my office is being contacted by residents and small businesses that are concerned and worried that this increase will affect their standard of living and their bottom line. Speaker, to the Minister, as the largest shareholder of Hydro One Networks, why are you allowing Hydro One to act in a manner that both frustrates and obstructs your mandate and makes a mockery of your commitment?
The Minister of Energy, Northern Development and Mines.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and there is no question that we inherited a mess, and the steps that we've taken over the past year and a half, Mr. Speaker, are a testament to our resolve to reduce costs system-wide, to work more effectively, renew the corporate culture of public utilities and publicly traded utilities that Ontario ratepayers and Ontario taxpayers have a significant investment in. Moving forward, Mr. Speaker, we have the kinds of partnerships with Hydro One, OPG and our local distribution companies that is focused on reducing costs in the system, Mr. Speaker, so that we can provide relief for ratepayers after more than a decade and a half of building up one of the most complex and expensive systems known the continent over. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The supplementary question.
Again to the Minister of Energy. The government also made a commitment to improve and expand broadband rural internet services. We all know that the greatest obstacles to this expansion is the uncertain, convoluted, costly and lengthy approval process of attaching fibre optic cables to Hydro One's poles. In September, I met with Hydro One executives and provided options for this process and received a commitment to reform their approval process and actually become partners in facilitating rural broadband expansion. But Hydro One's commitments appear to be empty as well. For more than a year, the Hydro One and OEB have been frustrating and obstructing the government's mandate. Speaker, my question to the Minister, when will the Minister direct Hydro One to cut their red tape and to facilitate broadband expansion in rural Ontario?
Minister of Energy.
That long ago, Mr. Speaker, that member was voting for all of the important steps that we've taken. On this particular matter, discussions have taken place with Hydro One, Mr. Speaker. We're making historic investments in broadband here in this province, across rural and northern Ontario, Mr. Speaker, in particular, so that people can have the kind of service that they should expect and other people in other parts of the province do. In moving forward, Mr. Speaker, I can assure the member opposite that those decisions of the past, the Ontario Energy Board, Mr. Speaker, is going to be renewed. Our governance restructured, Mr. Speaker, so these kinds of decisions that are affecting our ability to move broadband forward, Mr. Speaker, will be removed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.